So Kylie asks, as a leader, how do you work with a company that has poor sustainability goals or KPIs?
So as a leader, if you are in a leadership position, then I think one thing you can do is set your values so they represent sustainability. Because in principle, at least, that's my limited understanding, maybe leadership is a lot about defining values, implementing them and then promoting them and acting on them. It's easier upstream than downstream. So if towards your clients and customers, it's a bit more difficult to pressure them, I guess. But you can, similar to in the previous question, you can talk about it and communicate what your values are and what you would like to see from them. Mm-hmm. And also, if you're an employee in a company and you think that your boss is not really up to scratch with sustainability, then you can also bring this up and say, look, I think we should do more here, and try and do it that way.
Is there research that confirms that companies meeting their ESG targets are in fact more profitable?
There is definitely research out there that suggests a correlation between sustainability, ESG, and profitability. Once upon a time, ESG sustainability was a competitive advantage for a lot of companies. Now it's sort of a baseline requirement. And if you're not, if ESG isn't on the agenda, you're likely to be called out, and penalized for it. So it's not a nice to have anymore. It's a baseline expectation.
Yeah. What if I am in a non-financial role as a manager? How do I then influence key decisions around investing in ESG?
If you are that person in a non-financial background inside an organization, ask the question, what are you doing here? Have you thought about doing this here? What about recycling over here? Can we put bees on our roof? There could be multiple different functions. So just agitate for some change, because the more people, that wave of questions and waves of discussion will push business leaders, particularly those who are, a little bit backwards in this space, to move forward.
Why is the incidence of climate anxiety higher in younger people compared to older people?
We talked in my modules about how those that had contributed least to the problems and created least emissions are the ones who will suffer most. And that is not just about the developing world, although it is profoundly so. It's also about young people. They have contributed least to this problem, and yet they will bear the full brunt of life at 2030, which will be getting very difficult, and indeed at 2050, where life, may start to not be sustained if we don't make the right decisions right now. I think it's really hard when you hear people say, well, young people are so inspiring. The young people will sort it out and fix these problems. They can't. We have all the power and all the resources and all the wealth. Young people are not in the decision, they're not in the boardrooms where these decisions are being made to, extend coal mines and so on. And so it's not really okay to say that, young people will fix this. It's up to people like us